Welcome back to Delicate Aroma Creations. My name is Naisha, and this is part 2 on how to create a notebook cover. Part 1 was explaining the materials that you'll need, as well as how to design through Canva your notebook cover and inner cover, as well on how to cut your chipboard using Cricut. Now, part 2 is going to be about on how to put everything together step by step. Okay, so stay tuned with me as well. Alrighty, so after you have everything printed out, this is where you're gonna use your guillotine, to be able to cut your inner of the notebook paper as well. If you don't have a Cricut, this is a good opportunity to be able to cut your chipboard. Now I'm going to start cutting my inner, making sure that I aligned the border of my image with the knife. That's the best way to have a good cut. Make sure that it's not curved, because then you'll be cutting to the side and you want to avoid that. Now, depending on the design that you have, if it's more transparent, you'll have to my suggest my suggestion will be to start little by little. If it's like really transparent and you don't know where the border of it is. Now, if it's a darker image, then just let yourself use the guide of the darker image and just move it little by little. And there we go. This is where the lamination machine comes along. This one has a cold and hot setting. When it comes to cold setting, you don't really have to wait to preheat. It automatically does it for you. So I just turned it on. Now this next step is going to be to put the laminating sheet on our actual design. Now, like I mentioned previously, on because my HP printer does not print borderless, you can see that there's a lot of border to it. Now, for me, I don't mind because the 3 of 4 corners are going to be covered by my inner, so I don't worry. This is the only one that it will be showing on the bottom. Now, when it comes to laminating, there's a lot of people that does it differently. Now, the way that I do it is the following. I make sure that my image is placed how I want it. There's some laminating sheets that are easy to peel off a little bit, but some you have to work around it. In this case, behind cameras, I just pulled a little bit of the top here so it can be easier for me. Now I just pull it back a little bit so I can have a little tab to pull. Now there are so many different size of laminating sheets. So there are ones that are bigger. The transparent one is bigger and covers all my corners. Now this one, not so much, but it does a little bit the trick. So the way that I do it is I put it in a way that has more to the on top and more on the bottom. Now it won't focus on my corners, but that's okay. But that's where I make sure that it's completely aligned and it's not crooked. Now make sure that you have it properly, because if not, then that's where the air bubbles and other little annoying little thing comes along and it will damage and you will have to start all over again. So after I placed it correctly how I want it, I make sure that is pretty much taped to the table. Makes it easier, so whenever I pull the tab back or the backing of the laminate, it stays stuck and doesn't move everything together. So I place my squeegee. This is where my squeegee comes along. I place it towards the middle of the image. pull the laminate back, pull the little tab that we created, and move it forward. And this is where I make sure that the air bubbles, if any, make sure that you move it towards a way that it doesn't form like a little crease. And making sure that everything is good. And I love this. I love the sound of it when I remove it. I love it. Now, this is where, of course, we use our scissors to be able to remove the excess of our laminating sheet. Now, after you're done, make sure that I'm getting all the corners. Sometimes this wants to be special and not cooperate. There we go. So this is where the lamination machine comes along. Every single time I'm done doing a step, I pass it through the laminating. Make sure that you are centering it and not putting it towards the corners because it will crinkle if it does, okay? Now, whenever you're done doing the previous steps, now it's time to put the chipboard and the sticker paper together. Now, I already did the little tab here, so we're just going to remove everything out. Now, this is where the 15mm binding tool comes along. So we're just going to place it whichever way you want. This Then we're going to put this completely towards the corners. Now, if you see white at the end of your binding tool, that means you're not doing it properly. Okay, so make sure that you are properly placing the tool in the behind the sticker paper. Now, whenever you're done, that you can see it's not going to move. You're gonna get your chipboard and now you're going to place it inside this right here. Okay, so again, same goes as for the tool, for the chipboard. If you can see the borders, the white borders, that means you're not placing it correctly. If you placed it correctly, you can see that all of the borders have the 15mm, so it's already centered. Now, after you have placed it, you're going to use your squeegee, put a little bit of pressure here so it can stick. Now you can remove your binding tool carefully, and this is where the little corner piece comes along. You can see right here it has a opening right here. That's where you're going to place it. You're going to place the opening into the corners. Now, the binding tool kit only comes with one of these, so you will have to remove, place, and for each corners. So when you've done that, you're going to remove that little excess of the corners. So you're going to repeat the process several times here. Now, I always suggest the following because a lot of people has asked me previously, why not use the pouch, the laminating pouch? Now, if you want to use sticker paper and you use the pouch, you're not going to be able to have access to the sticker part of it because the pouch is going to be sealed completely. So it's not a good option on that. But if you want to use the pouch version, Now, instead of using sticker paper, use a cardstock or a regular um, printer paper to be able to do so. Now, after you have cut all four corners, like you can see right here, all four corners already cut. Now we are going to use again our squeegee, and we are going to like score it. This is what I mean. Place it, move it to the side, pressurely like this. Scoring it a little bit so whenever you put it towards the chipboard, it can be easier to flip. Okay, so the order that I do it is top, bottom, side to sides. Okay, so I'm going to start from one side and then use the black part to put pressure on the excess of the sticker paper to the chipboard. You're going to repeat this process until you're done doing all the corners. Like, the size doesn't really matter which one it goes. It's still going to flip it here. And last corner. Okay, there we go. And now you can see the end results. Now, remember what I mentioned earlier when we were doing Canva, there's going to be sometimes that your images are going to be a little bit towards one side. I already had it previously in mind of it. Now, like I mentioned earlier, every single time that you are done placing one thing, you're going to pass it through the laminator. Now, again, you're going to do this step several times. So now the next step, it's going to be as soon as it's done, it's going to put in the inner part of your notebook. Now, because I added this little part, this will go with the backing of the front of the notebook cover, okay? Now, if it's clear like the previous one, like this one right here, if it would have been both, then by all means, you could have just placed it um whichever side you wanted. But we want to keep it in the same order. Now, we're going to do the same way that we did it with the laminating sheet. We're going to take a little bit of the a little bit of the backing here. It does give a little bit of annoying trying to open it because of the guillotine cut. Now we're just going to have a little bit here. Okay, so just want to make sure that I have it placed correctly. And I just want to make sure where I want to be placed before I stick it. There we go, using my squeegee. Now, because it's already in place, I personally do it like this, and it's because I don't want to remove it, the backing completely and end up with bubbles. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. And plus, like you can see, it moves easily on my table. That's another reason why I'm going to take this slowly, remove a little bit of the backing, put pressure on the back, move a little bit more, and continue the process. And there we go. And one last time, I'm going to pass it to my laminating machine. And you, of course, repeat this with the other side, and then you are completely done. And this is the end result of the notebook covers. This is the back, and this is the front. You get the holographic as well inside, and that's the best part of it. Now stay tuned for part 3. Part 3 is going to show you how to design your inner pages.